this one is our last session for the day, and this is titled Future Trajectory of Bancassurance. This session would delve into the evolving landscape of bancassurance through the lens of recent mergers between the banking and insurance entities. For this session, I would like to invite Anup Seth, who is a Chief Distribution Officer from Tokio Life Insurance. And for next, I would like to invite Aravind Srinivasan, who is an Advisory Solution Consultant from Servicenow. Please help me in joining in. All right. To moderate this session, we would like to invite Kumar Sharma, who is a Deputy Editor, Financial Express Digital.
Good afternoon again. We are at the last session as we gathered, and hope not to take much of your time, but bancassurance is what we are here to discuss. Very important, especially as I was mentioning to you a while ago. I'm coming from Hyderabad, and we have this IRDA there, and they're always been talking of adding depth, both girth and growth, and also now added depth. I don't know how we will get to what we have to achieve by 2047. But very quickly, when I talk to people in this arena about what does bancassurance mean to people, the two words which normally come up is trust and convenience. If we can start from there in terms of, how crucial is that, and how is that an enabler, and from that perspective, how do you see the growth of this space?
Thank you. Very difficult job after lunch to have the audience engaged, but we'll try and do our best. So I think let me start with saying that India is at a very interesting journey. We are now talking about becoming a $10 trillion economy. The $10 trillion economy, I'm not here to crystal gaze whether it will happen in 2030, 2032. But if that was to happen, we are talking about, at a 30% savings rate, $3 trillion sort of savings, which is as much the size of economy as India was in 2021, 22.
We will, I think, even if we don't do anything, given that Germany and Japan are growing at a very slow pace, we will in any case cross them.
Yeah, I'm not from any political agenda, not endorsing any Modi's statement of a fifth to third, but yeah, we should. We have India momentum. But just to give you context here, I think the fact that India is growing, the fact that India is learning to make money, clearly means that financial services, banks will play a very important role in that journey of helping India make money. Now let me give you a slight context, because the agenda of this meeting is bancassurance. Bancassurance today is the backbone of life insurance companies. 58% of new business premium, which means all the money that comes in life insurance, new business, 58% of that comes from bancassurance. So banks are an important part of reaching out the solution to consumers. Now this journey, banks having consumer trust, having access to consumers, is a story which has been very old. I think what is important to understand is banks understand their consumers better from a financial lens. They have not just your demographics, but they also have your financial transaction. They also can create a lookalike of you and tell you, based on your life stage, based on your need, this is what your life goals will look like, this is what your money, cash flows you require, and this is what sort of products and solution can help you make a balanced portfolio. I see banks having a very fiduciary responsibility. Banks have the consumer trust. They have a full understanding of consumers, and they must play a very important role of helping India have a balanced portfolio where they can help them make their money make money. I will speak a specific about insurance here. See, life insurance, similar to any financial product, whether it's equity, mutual fund, debt, structured products, life insurance has a certain need that it solves for consumers, which is unique to life insurance. Banks have to make sure that life insurance is sold as life insurance. A lot of issues that we have seen where banks who have done extremely well are people who have honored the trust, who've honored the fact that they have made consumption of various product lines as easy from the bank platform and not told the consumer, oh, you're buying a third-party product, so you're on your own, I'm just a seller, you're on your own. Banks which manage the front-to-back experience of across products, across discipline of products, integrately and do honor the trust are banks which are flourishing, and I don't need to speak about any branch, but banks which are doing very well. I firmly believe that, since you mentioned IRDA and Hyderabad, I might give respect quickly. IRDA obviously wants to take India from, to a 2047 vision of har aadmi ko insure karna hai. And let me tell you, there is nobody in this room, including me, who can live a secure and healthy life without having life insurance as part of my portfolio. So I honor the point of life of IRDA 2047 vision, but I certainly believe it will not happen without banks. Banks will play and will play a very important part in the journey of helping consumer lead a secure life. And I'm a firm endorser for that. I've come from an organization which had bank parentage, HDFC Life, and I'm now working in Edelweiss Tokio Life. Banks are doing tremendous evolution on innovation on products, segmented products, journey building out, integrating with ecosystem in the platform. I think banks are going to pivot and innovate in a very different way as we move ahead. And that will be the growth story for India.
That's a very nice note to actually begin on. So your thought about if you can...
Thank you so much.
You need to add there.
So very interesting, trust, right? From a trust, for trust to happen, what is needed is these bankers have to be equipped. I will tell you the scenario currently. From a bank assurance perspective, every bank can have 27 tie-ups, right? 9 life insurance companies, 9 non-life, 9 health insurance companies. Have the math, do the math, right? Each of these insurance company may have n number of products, 27 into n, correct? Now, when a banker has to have this conversation, how do we equip him? So it is going to be a partnership between an insurance organization and a bank, so that all these information about these products, correct? All these information about different determinants of these products, and all of this is available at that moment of time when a customer is having a conversation. I'll give my own story. I don't want to name the bank. I have been with this bank for last 10 years. I went to this bank and I want to buy a term insurance. And I went to this manager, Mr. Manager, I want to explore a life insurance. The question was not on Mr. Aravind, what are you expecting, what are the different risk factors, and so on and so forth. Rather, I have 3 partnerships. And these 3 partners you need to go with, right? So I will not blame the banker. Probably he's not equipped. And then you would have guessed what happened next. Definitely I didn't go with that, right? That bank missed an opportunity, right? So equipping these bankers with information becomes extremely important, right? From a customer acquisition perspective. I will slightly take it in a different way. What about customer servicing? Now, if a customer has an insurance product, right, and he has an issue with the product, where does he go? Does he go to the bank? Does he go to the insurance organization? He has bought it from the bank, right? So let's say, I'm a digitally savvy customer. I go to the insurance company and say I am having this issue. I have submitted a claim It has not come through for last 30 days, and so on and so forth, right? Now, the banker doesn't have a clue. These systems don't talk to each other. Right? Now, a banker has sold me this product. I'm not having a happy experience with this insurance product. What it will impact? It will impact the bank. It will impact the banking relationship, right? So owning the customer service, whether you are buying an insurance product or a bank product, is still with the bank. So a bank and an insurance organization should talk to each other. They should know what status it is, and so on, right? So for me, for trust, we need to equip the bankers. That's very important.
For trust, we need to equip. I think, yeah, that's a very important thought. I was with Anup, actually, I was discussing a while ago this point that insurance typically come in 3 flavors, as you probably know more. One is the low advice insurance, which is a typical just a warranty. Medium advice, which is say a health insurance. And third is a deep advice, which will be say a retirement plan or something. The understanding which I get is perhaps bank assurance is best placed for the one with low advice and then large volumes. Is that a correct characterization of what we will increasingly experience?
So, very interesting question, and you got me there also. I'll tell you, see, my sense is bank is a platform, and a platform which has financial knowledge of consumers. Should that change what the product the consumer want? Answer is no. I think the reason to exist for any company or any product, any financial product, is the customer. We should be able to use the platform to be able to best transact and do what my friend Aravind said, is not just transact but do a front to back experience. So I'll just give you a separate color. If your product proposition doesn't come from consumer need and comes from the arbitrage of the platform, arbitrage. I'm saying using the word arbitrage. Arbitrage could be an agent, a seller who knows the family. Arbitrage could be a bank. Arbitrage could be an online platform, could be an aggregator, could be anything. My sense is the platform should be not playing his bias. The bias should be only the consumer. Some platforms lend easily to products of indemnity, simplified products. But I think it should evolve from consumer. I'm going to just react this point a little more philosophically with you, sir. All of us create propositions and need for consumers, right? That's why we exist. Otherwise, what's the purpose? We are not here just to keep the customer busy. If you start from the consumer need and then use the platform capability to handle use cases, what Aravind said. If as a customer I walk in and I need a term product, which means I'm trying to cover my liabilities, I'm trying to cover my possible income loss, the platform should be able to compare across product propositions, across manufacturers, and tell you what best suits me. And what are the 5 things I should look at the consumer before I make a choice? Whether it's the claim settlement, whether it's the premium, whether it's the long stay, which means I'm covering up to age 80, or am I paying up to 60? That understanding of consumer, if a platform can take and use an integrated platform, which might be third party, which may not be bank, may not be manufacturer, but create a recommendation for customer. And not just recommend, onboard him, help him understand him, advise him well, and service him. It's going to be a success mantra. And I can tell you, I know of many banks, and I work with 5 banks because of corporate agency relationship. We work with them on a acquisition to service model, but we work with them on 20 different customer segments, which means 20 different customer types and their products and their life stage. And for each life stage, there is a product proposition which fits the match the column. So it's not that I will sell this product from this platform to everybody. I will sell what is required for that segment, match him with his need, make sure he's fully aware of what he's getting in, make sure his onboarding is simple, is integrated with the platform, and make sure I can service him from the platform. I can't tell him you buy from here and come there and get service. That can't work. Because I'll give you one analogy, and I'm sorry I'm taking a little more time on the subject. See, we have to understand this as a subject. Indian customers, their expectation sets are changing. We are now using Blinkit, Zepto, Uber, Ola, which tells you that consumer is now used to a very high expectation set. He's no longer using a Kali Pili because Kali Pili is not giving him what Uber is giving you. He's no longer using that local bania who takes 20 minutes to answer the call and deliver after 1 hour. He's ordering on Zepto, which means his beliefs are still the same. He wants to be fair to you. He wants you to service him, take money from him, make money from him, but he wants to expect a different experience. And any company, any brand, whether financial services, no financial services, doesn't understand that the expectations have changed, but the beliefs are still the same, will not get the India story. He will not get the upside of $3 trillion becoming $10 trillion. Those companies, those mindsets will not sail. That's my long answer to a very sharp question from your side, sir.
Very important, but help to get the perspective there. What's your thoughts?
Anup, very interesting point. I just went to left off from where you started, right? Acquisition, onboarding, service. That is where customer service is where banks are differentiating. Right? How do you provide a preemptive service is where the banks are differentiating. Now, I'm very passionate about banking industry per se. Right? I will give you an example. I've been with 2 banks for last 10 years, and I regularly interact with those banks, right? Bleeding banks. When I call them, I have an issue, I have a chat, I go and chat with them, I don't get resolved. When I call them, they always start with a question, Mr. Aravind, how can I help you? My thought will be, you know me for 10 years, I've had recent interactions with you. Should you not ask me, Mr. Aravind, you raised this issue last time. Was it resolved to your satisfaction? It's not happening. Now, I will flip this in the insurance side. My own experience. COVID happened. After COVID, one of my relatives had an admission, and I'm helping them with claim settlement. It was not online claim, it was an offline claim. Health insurance, right, which is growing at a trajectory of, projected to grow at a trajectory of 23% year over year, one of the fastest growing segments. And I was waiting for 60 days to get a reply from the insurer. I have to follow up multiple times, very reactive. Now, we have to fundamentally transform the customer service, right? Now, with banking, with bancassurance, this has to happen. Now, it's all about data. We have the data, right? It always makes me think. You have all these interactions. These customer 360 information is available. Why not make it available to the front office persona, to the contact agent persona, right? You have all this information available. Why not make it available to the insurance agent who is servicing it, right? It's not. I'm not talking about generative AI. I'm just talking about making the available data and making it available, actionable, correct? So, taking to Anup's point, be it a product recommendation, we are talking about data. How we are using data to provide the appropriate recommendations. If you're talking about customer service, we are talking about data, right? So, using the data, how can we provide a proactive service? So I want to leave it with that thought. Data for onboarding, acquisition, servicing, which the bank has, is going to be key.
Very important point about data. No wonder they say data is the new oil, because like oil, it also needs refining. So I think, so since we need to handle it very differently, before I get to this point about, how, given that this data, therefore, how can it be leveraged? You can share the insurance perspective there in terms of, to address the point which Aravind raised. If you think, first, why don't you respond to that? And then.
So firstly, I like Arvind's way of narrating a story. He always has an anecdotal story to telling you what the experience needs to be solved for, and I appreciate that way of it. Because it's easy to understand, right, what the use case is.
We journalists love that because...
I know. You journalists will also love a story coming out of the whole thing. Kiska experience kharab ho gaya. But my point here is, see, data is a new oil, but the sense is, with this whole digital transaction, we are all living in this whole thing that India is now making 1 billion transactions on payments. Yeah, we all hear this story, especially from the North Block. You hear that India is the new digital
North.
Yeah, but honestly, all these transactions creates data, creates knowledge of consumer experiences, creates knowledge of consumer expectations, et al. We have to now have two approaches. One is India ready from a maturity of handling this data? Because see, we are now transacting on average e-commerce small sites. Yeah, we're putting payments there. Is there a bedrock platform to have consumer privacy? Is there a bedrock to handle platform maturity from an InfoSec point of view? I think there a lot of work is happening on Digital India, DPDP, Act 23. My sense is, with great power comes great responsibility, Spider-Man story, this is that data. We can either use data to do what Aravind is saying, is to manage customer experience. But that will also create its own fears, which is there. Let me honestly tell you, I know of stories, of anecdotal story like Aravind, of somebody's father who's 64, had an WhatsApp message saying, give me the OTP and we'll transact you 1 lakh rupees. वो 64-year-old uncle को पता नहीं था. उनको लगा OTP for some e-commerce buying, and he gave the OTP. He lost some few lakh rupees. So we have to make sure that data gets created, data is enriched for consumer experience, but we also need to put in the right framework, right acts, and right maturity in the consumer's mind to understand what can happen with the possible data. Yeah. Having said that, companies that understand the power of data are doing a very good job, but are creating not only consumer onboarding, product proposition, advisory, service platform, post-sale purchase, life cycle management, but that is an evolution that is happening in India. I see a lot of data within organizations which is lying in different architectures which don't talk to each other. What he just said. I'm logging in a chat call, but the guy who's answering the call center desk has no awareness of my query. You have to have a data architectural system in mind, which has to start with what is the differentiated experience I want to give the customer? How can I give him an experience which makes his behavior get a superior experience? And then you create your technological architecture. You create your data architecture, you create your technology framework, you create your ecosystem partnership, you create your front-end systems, you create your organization design, your training architectures to marry with that. It's easy to say data hai, let's use it. Commonsensical. But uske piche there are 15 steps to be done. You first have to know मुझे कैसे customer का experience differentiate करना है. How can I leapfrog his behavior in a manner that I can dominate him, that I can be the reason for him to choose me in the marketplace. And then you create your data architectures, then you create a data design, then you create your workflows, your organization design, your training architectures, et al, et al. So data can be the new oil, but you should know how to use the oil. Is that Rahul Dravid ka, do you think before you buy the oil? Or do you just buy the oil? You can buy platforms and you can create data, but do you know how to use the data? A lot of organizations don't have that. Fortunately, the government is creating maturity frameworks of creating data privacy, because डेटा हर किसी के पास चला जाएगा ना, तो हम सबकी लाइफ खराब हो जाएगी. हर आदमी को फोन करेगा. I was talking to somebody some time back. My car insurance is happening now. I've got 25 calls on my car insurance, and I'm wondering how everybody knows my car data. How everybody knows which my car is, when it's going to expire. Somebody has a story.
Continuous calls. Just in few minutes back, I got the call saying that your car is under renewal.
Now the oil is not working. The data is in the market.
So that is
the oil is rubbed anyway.
And even आप एक बार निकाल भी लोगे ना, still you will get a call saying that आपने ये ज़्यादा दिया, हम इसमें कम में करके.
ये फ्रेमवर्क डालना पड़ेगा गवर्नमेंट को privacy के लिए, क्योंकि हम सबकी लाइफ का privacy नहीं खराब हो सकती, because I am transacting digitally. Everybody can have access to my data. That would be unfair. Sorry, you want to say something, sir?
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
the topic of discussion was bank assurance, and I think the moderator has left it totally go astray. People are discussing data and data's security, and nothing is being talked about bank assurance except for one single information which Anup gave, was that the insurance companies are getting 58% of their new premiums from the banks. Other than that, nothing on bank assurance is being talked about.
Happy to give you more insight.
No, please.
Let us actually
Please
get back.
talk about bank assurance.
Absolutely.
What is happening in bank assurance today,
Yeah.
and what is going to happen tomorrow?
Exactly.
Where is it leading to?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for getting us back again. So yeah, so this let us take up from there where he left actually. This 58% which is there actually, if we were to actually add more depth into it and look in terms of the talent that is required for this bank assurance space, and how the tie-up between both the insurance and banks can be taken to a greater maturity. If you can throw some light in terms of the road ahead, as he points out very clearly.
So, since you insisted about bank assurance, I'll tell you, bank assurance is an evolving business. In 2010, it was 26%. Agency was the biggest channel. It's now become bank. My forecast is, right now there are lots of questions to underline the layer, but there is a lot of expense management guideline which the regulator has come. Banks offer you a much convenient option without incurring a lot of fixed cost of getting access to new consumers and doing that pivot, which is why manufacturers love bank. Each manufacturer is wooing every bank, and now with the open architecture, moving from earlier being one manufacturer, one bank, to 3, and now 9 in life insurance, 9 health, and 9 GI. Everybody loves a bank. Will bank explode? Logical. I think it's naive to assume that Modi ji had 20 crore accounts opening for bank assurance, which means a lot of economic is coming into bank assurance. The demon did bring bank 14 lakh crores of new money from the black to white. Bank assurance is here to stay. The element which we did allude towards, and I can give you a context story backward, bank assurance will grow. But as I said, the maturity of managing the trust, the maturity of managing multiple manufacturers, because क्या है ना, 9 manufacturers, everybody creates a term product, everybody creates a ULIP, everybody creates a non-par, par. Whose product do you recommend to whom? And what fits the customer story will need a very scientific tooling. You need to create a platform which is between the bank and the manufacturer, which allows you to evaluate customer X, which product to be given to him, and what premium should be given to him, what maturity does he want, and what is the goal that he's fulfilling. You will need a platform, a middleware platform, which allows you to understand for customer X which product to recommend when and how. That evolution will require data architectures, because you can't train in banking. We all know there are over 4.5 lakh bank branches, including PSU and private. You can't train everybody to train every product for all manufacturers, for all product categories to one seller. वो बेचारा teller is an average 5-6 lakh resource. Uski ability to handle 15 different product genres from 15 manufacturers is impossible. You will need to create architectures for advisory. And to answer your question a little bit more further, see, अगर हम सीरियस हैं इंडिया को पैसे से पैसा बनाना, then we'll need to create platforms. And those platforms have to be oriented from a value system of service to consumers, which means customize the product to that customer, to that need, and that will require partnerships in the ecosystem. Sorry, if you want to ask anything else. Yes. Yes. Yes.
As compared to the vehicle insurance.
Yes.
Maybe the term insurance.
Yes.
But then what is preventing the bank and the insurance company to, because the insurance company wants to sell their product.
Yes.
The bank wants to sell their product because they can make money.
Yes.
What is preventing both of them who want to make money out of it to come together and build a platform?
Actually, if you ask me, I can give you many product platforms which exist in the marketplace. And there's also a regulatory platform, which the regulator is building it. Okay? Just the way Rome was not built in a day, so will this platform not get built. The open architecture of having 3 partnerships has been in existence for the last 5 years. But this becoming 9, and the fact that banks are now a platform architecture which sells not just mutual fund, not just life, not just health, not just GI, but sells even structured products. The banks themselves are realizing that the average teller who's the face to the bank may not have the ability, and they are working on homegrown platforms. Plus, for life insurance, there is regulatory platform. There is also companies like Zopper, there's companies like Turtlefin, which are building integrate platform to manage both the advisory, onboarding, and service. So I think work is happening. But जैसे मैं बोलता हूँ सर, मैंने 22-23 साल काम किया है. Yeah.
I would like to say is that, okay, the regulators have allowed the banks to have 9 of these products, 9 of that, but is it compulsory? No. Bank has to decide whether they can manage those 27 products, or 27 companies,
Yes.
or whether they should stick to 3 companies as earlier. Because every insurance company has a segment to which they are targeting. Maybe many are competitors. I don't say no. Same like the car. A dealer will have at the most 2 car dealerships because he has not only to sell the car and then he has to service those cars. It's exactly the same thing over here for the banks, is that not only they have to sell the products of the insurance companies, but they also have to service the customers that they have onboarded. So it is for the banks and the insurance companies to decide how many of them with whom we should work. Isn't it so?
आपका शुभ नाम सर?
Sanjeev Rao.
संजीव राव जी. आपने मेरे मन की बात करी है कि सबको सब कुछ ऑफर करना चाहिए, बट ये आइडियलिस्टिक व्यू है.
मेरा व्यू नहीं है.
Everybody should offer 9.
No, I am not saying they should offer 9. I am saying why should they offer 9? Just because the regulators allow it.
Actually, let me give you perspective, sir. Right now, not more than 5 banks have more than 3 partnerships. Not necessarily. Even when the regulator opened from 1 to 3, there are only 7 people who had more than 1 partner. Most of them had proprietary JV partnerships. I think this evolution of 9 is the limit, I should take all 9, answer is no. If 3 can give you everything that the consumer wants and give you best of products and services, then why not 3? If 4 can give you, why not 4? That answer is for a bank organization to figure out whether have I chosen the best 3 partners who can give me every product and service, differentiate the user experience based on my expectation, then that should be 3. But my sense to you is right now, one of the things that you got to important recognize that like you rightly said, some companies do a certain product genre very well. Now the regulator has permitted you to add more partners. So if your current manufacturer does not give you, let's say, a long-term guarantee non-par product which gives you a 40-year interest guarantee, and you want that, you should have the access to add and manufacture. But the bigger point here is consumers today, like I said before, expectation change ho gayi hai. They prefer you giving a choice. If your platform is monopoly, is just like linear, and you say, I'm only going to sell this guy and nothing else, and that's the only product I can give you, take it or leave it, you will miss the customer expectation.
I never advocated.
Yeah. No, I firmly believe that.
I said 3 insurance companies, if you take, and if you take all the products
Yeah.
on them and combine them,
Yeah.
then all the 27 or 30 insurance companies that are there will fall under those.
Absolutely, yes. Should.
Under the product category of those 3 insurance
Yes.
companies. So this thing is, if an insurance company, it's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
The bank needs the insurance company needs the bank. If the insurance company goes to the bank and says that I want this from you, and then asks him,
Yeah.
कि बाबा तुम और किस को दे रहे हो, then which other insurance companies? Cannot the insurance companies say, come on, yaar, if you are servicing those 3 insurance companies, how come you are going to service my requirement also? I'll go to a different bank. This is what market trends are in every possible thing. For example, if I am a software company and I'm servicing General Motors, why will Ford Motors come to me and say that give me your service? They say you're doing to General Motors. What is the guarantee that you will give preference to General Motors and not to me, or the other way around? So it is the same thing over here also. Even if the government has allowed you to go to 9 insurance companies to the bank, is it necessary that the bank should go to 9, have 9 insurance company customers, and at the same time the insurance company has what I would say, a right to talk to ask the bank, how many other insurance companies and what products are you selling, whether you will give me the, what I would say, the preference that I need from you, and it is for the insurance company to judge that. So it is a business decision and not a data decision or what I would say, a system decision or a platform decision. First, get your business decisions right, and then go for the proper platform or proper software that you need.
Yeah. Let me just add a perspective there. Just want to extend that, right? I think, I'm talking about a millennial customer. And if you're looking at options, right, we are talking about 3, right now IRDA is making 9. The vision is across all insurance companies, right? Why a bank should be limited with 9? See, let's not talk about what is easy for the bank. Let's not talk about what is easy for the insurance organization. Let's talk about what is the best for the consumer. As a consumer, I'm having multiple options when I go outside. I can compare multiple insurance. I want a life insurance, or I go to a website, I can compare, right? Why should I have a different experience when I come to the bank? So that was a thought process. Yeah.
I, being tech savvy, I'll go to the whatever site there is and I will compare the products. But what about the maid who is working in the house? What about the bhajiwala? Do they have this thing? No, they will go to the bank because they know, they always go to the bank and that is the person they trust. और उसको ही पूछेगा कि मैं कौन सा insurance लूँ?
True.
See, so the bank assurance is basically not for tech savvy people. It is for people who do not understand technology, who do not understand insurance, so that but they understand banking because they have been doing it for ages. So if that person comes to the bank and says, "मेरे को insurance लेने का है, life insurance लेने का है, गाड़ी का insurance लेने का है," whatever it is, the bank should be able to give him what it is. For that, the bank should be prepared for non-tech savvy people and not for tech savvy people in terms of the platform is for their internal use. कि भाई मैं इसको कैसे guide करूं? That is what it should be. And basically again here the discussion has what I would say, gone astray on what should be, how the bank assurance should work in the future. But the point is that what is happening for the near future? Because all these are long-term solutions. What is happening in the near future? How are banks gearing up, or how are insurance companies gearing up to give bank assurance to the non-tech savvy people? Has anybody thought about it? Or is it somebody or everybody thinking that no, the whole country is going to be tech savvy in another 10 years? Then that is not going to happen.
Anyone?
As you discussed, they have all my data anyway. One fine day, I get a call from the credit card company, then I got from SBI Live, then I get a call from car loan wala, vehicle. I said, stop this nonsense here. Please stop this. I will come to you for whatever I require. Whatever bank I'm dealing with, first is my banking service. Fulfill my overdraft needs, this credit needs, etc., etc. And all of this commodity selling, I can easily get it because it's a commoditized market, in a way. So what I see is, in my B2B business, what I see is, when I have a relationship manager, he pitches the whole concept of bank assurance in a very, very different way. He comes as a one-stop solution for life, health, and whatever you said, proposing it to the organization because the moolah is very high compared to a single B2C, where yes, sir, aaj demat le lo, sir, aaj ye le lo, sir, aaj wo bhi le lo. I study, are Vijay sales hai kya? So the whole concept of bank changes in my mind. So I don't want my bank to spread too thin, this is my personal view, too thin at a time. Then the whole focus loses. Till my business goes to a level where I get a relationship manager. And let me relationships manager do a good job in selling bank assurance or demat or whatever they want to sell. That's my view. So I don't know, the question is, as gentleman very rightly said, it's a business decision whether bank wants to turn itself into a full-blown one-stop financial services organization where bank becomes one of the service. वो जो BFSI sector हम लोग बोलते हैं, finance है ऊपर, नीचे banking आ गया, insurance आ गया, ये भी आ गया. Or it wants to retain its core service as a bank.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
And then outside the bank also you see a lot of people selling all kinds of services. So you feel it is too commoditized.
So, yeah, please.
We are talking about banks need to do, insurance company needs to do. Let's talk where this insurance is getting consumed.
Exactly.
You go to tier 4, 5, 6. Do you think hospitals are bothered about insurance? No. They don't even want to know what insurance is. So we are talking about people who are tech savvy, definitely, who are aware. The tier 4, 5, 6 guys are not aware. Even if you make them aware, where they have to consume the insurance, and I'm talking health insurance. Let's take the hospitals. They don't want. So even if you sell them, even if you give them, where are they going to consume it? Where are they going to use it? So it's an entire ecosystem which has to come. It's not the responsibility of a bank or an insurance company or XYZ. Yeah. And putting everything onto the bank, I think that's not fair.
No, I think a very, very important point. Actually, thanks that you raised this, because one thing which also needs to be understood is that while we talk of bank assurance as a business model and the direction that it will take, whether we say it in the interim period or in the longer range as a business model, the point really is what Anup pointed out. I think this the risk profile is very different for a bank and for an insurance company. And also the capital needs are very different for an insurance company and for a bank. So if you have to see this as a growing business proposition and a business model, the interim triggers, if there are any, I think maybe if we could just touch upon that, because we are running short of time, and I'm happy that it was a very interactive session, reduced my interventions, which is always very good. Yeah. So if we can just have some closing comments on that, and I will just listen to it and conclude.
Finally we are in a capital business. Yeah, we are all in the business of serving consumers and making money out of servicing consumer life stage need. Economics of life insurance companies, I can talk in more detail, but just to understand a lens of Kobo and Sobo, it's an important thing which I learned in my management days. company-owned and partner-owned outlet. Just look at your lens as a manufacturer. Any distribution I build on my own will be far more fixed cost intensive. I will have to build access to consumers, win their trust, create reach, all that. Bank, in a very simplistic way, allows me access to consumers. What I do with the bank to make sure that all the consumers of the bank are fully protected, are leading a life where their dreams and aspirations are not getting compromised, will depend on our mutual agreement to make sure we don't do what we did with him. Is you go to the bank to do a DD or a check drop and you get calls of insurance. That's not the way selling should happen. You will dissuade consumers. You have to do it with a permission marketing. You have to do with an approach of making the consumer feel he's buying rather than getting sold. The issue is we start thinking, अरे ये तो बैंक की responsibility है, वो बेचेंगे. अरे वो नहीं बेच रहे हैं. They are partnering with people who have products and services. They are giving you access to the consumers. What you do with that consumer should be a mutually agreed ecosystem alignment of values between the bank and the manufacturer to make sure that we do the right advisory. When we pivoted the discussion towards data, see, one of the things is very unique. हमें स्मार्टफोन यूज़ करना है, हमें व्हाट्सएप यूज़ करना है, बट हम इंसान हैं, हमें फिर भी आदमी को फेस टू फेस मिलना है. What data and technology will do is make that guy capable to advise you. But finally तो इंसान इंसान से बात कर रहा है, दिल से मिल रहा है. इंसान की नीयत of servicing him will remain as a pivotal reason why we will do good things to people. I don't believe banks or data architectures can solve it. It is finally organization, institution, and their values which will create differentiated products and services. Platform of bank is just an access point. What you do with that will depend on all of us. We are the new people who are servicing both the Bharats of India and the HNI of India. We are the same guys which are being the alpha private bankers and the third advisory from call center. इंडिया में मैं आपको एक लास्ट लाइन पेंड करता हूँ विच इज़ व्हाट आई स्टार्टेड विद. इंडिया में ना बहुत पैसा बनने वाला है. हम रहे ना रहे, तुम करो ना करो, ये गवर्नमेंट रहे ना रहे, इंडिया पैसा बनेगा. बट इंडिया में आज इतनी फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी की ज़रूरत है. Literally before joining life insurance or before joining financial services, the products and services I bought, I will never buy them. Because somebody sold me a candy. And unfortunately, India doesn't teach you financial products. Go and ask your kids and your grandchildren. None of them understand markets. None of them understand financial products. We have to teach our children to understand financial products because they will be in this market where they will have to make money. That is our responsibility. That let's do that job of helping India get educated, boss. Otherwise, we are going to be in a world where any bank or non-bank will sell you things which you don't want. That is a structural question to answer. You will make money, you have to learn how to make money. And if money is not making money when you're sleeping, you're going to be working all your life. And that we have to understand. World and West understand it. It's time India understands it. It's time all of us do our professional responsibility of making India aware, educated, help them, guide them, create platforms, create partnerships, create ecosystem to recommend better, and life will be good. Is the way I see my purpose, which is why I go to my work, which is why I have a fulfilling career. And that's from my side.
That's really very nice, encapsulated very well. Aravind, your last word, and then we conclude with that.
Thank you. So, couple of quick pointers. I think customer service is where we differentiate. Where if a bank is able to provide a right insurance product as a recommendation, if it also becomes part of a customer service journey when I'm having an issue with my insurance product, right? That will help me become more stickier, number one. Number two, this is for insurance company organization as well, where how do we differentiate with products? I am pretty bored in writing 15 questions, right? Responding 15, 20, 30 questions. A lot of questionnaires I don't want to answer for any insurance product. How can we make it very, very specific based on an age group? It need not be very necessary, a common set of questionnaire. Make it very agile. There are a lot of low code, no code, and so on, which is available. make these products easy, consumable from a consumer-facing perspective, so that we can easily make it very tailored to that customer segment, and we can grow the business. I just want to leave with those two thoughts.
I think very well. I think I don't want to add anything to it. We've already had a heavy afternoon after a rather heavy lunch. So thanks so much for this. I often was surprised when one insurance company official told me every claim is a surprise. I hope that doesn't hold true with Bancassurance. So thanks so much for
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.